ChairYoga2. So I'm not gonna have music because I'm recording, but I'll try to keep a nice soothing tone in my voice instead. All right, here we go. Let's take our shoulders. So find a nice comfortable spot on your chair. Your feet can be flat ideally. And we're gonna just bring our shoulders up. Inhale and then pull our shoulder blades together. Exhale. So inhale, curved back, and then exhale, shoulder blades pulling together. Nice big circle. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Shoulder blades pull together. Exhale. Now we're going to just make that a little bigger as we bend our elbows very slightly. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. A little bit more bend in the elbows. Exhale. And then our palms are going to face forward like we're scooping up the air. And then face backwards. So we're inhale. Exhale. We're going to bring those elbows up a little bit more. We're going to reach them up this time like we're cactus, opening up, looking toward the ceiling. And here we're going to scoop forward with a rounded back. And we're going to open up to the ceiling, bringing those shoulder blades together. Shoulder blades apart. Inhale. Exhale, pushing that air aside. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to straighten those elbows a little bit more. Bring the backs of the hands together now as we come up the center. Exhale as we push away. Inhale, up through the center. Exhale, push that away. Inhale. Exhale. And one last one. Nice rounded back here. Now we're looking up and opening up that rib cage and relax for a second. Shake that out. We're going to send those shoulders the other direction, just the shoulders. So now we're going to lift up and inhale from the back. And then exhale, round those shoulders forward. Inhale, up, and exhale. Inhale. Exhale, we're gonna bend those elbows a little bit now as we really pull those shoulder blades together and apart as we exhale. And then inhale, we're gonna open up, shoulders are still working, elbows are bent as we curve over. Inhale. Exhale. Core is tight. Belly button to spine as we move our torso. Inhale. Exhale. We're diving forward. We're going to start to straighten those arms a little bit more as we bring all that good energy. Inhale. Exhale. Backs of the hands together. Diving forward. Inhale. And we're up. Exhale, backs of the hands together. One more, inhale. Exhale. And letting that relax there. We're gonna take a big breath, arms coming out to the sides and coming up. Inhale. Exhale, reaching toward the top of the mirror. Whenever we're on 2 feet, reaching forward like this, we have the option here to hover out of our chair with our belly button to spine, core engaged, or just stay in your chair. Those are totally good options. 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, belly button to spine, engaging that core. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to continue that forward fold motion as we come toward the ground. Arms are heavy, head is heavy. We're just gonna grab opposite elbows and think about just a little drift side to side, eventually becoming a bit of a figure 8. So just our elbows are dipping to the sides of our legs. As we start to come up, we're gonna find our chair again and we're going to come to the sides. Inhale and exhale. And when we constrict the back of our throat on that breathing, it helps us to really relax our central nervous system, bring heat to our body in a good way. And we're now just gonna come up a little bit more. So we're about 3/4 of the way up, and we're still kind of warming up the sides of our lower back. We're coming all the way up to a seated position, letting go of those arms. We're just gonna reach down to the right. Kind of like a puppet, our elbow's gonna lift up just slightly, reach down to the left, and reach down to the right. Elbow comes up a little bit more, reach down to the left. And now we're gonna reach that left arm all the way up. And then switching sides, same thing, belly button to spine, core is engaged as we move our torso. So we're really supporting that. This time as our left arm straightens, we're gonna drop it over our head and look down at our right hand, just to get a nice side body stretch. And then coming out of that, left arm's gonna come up. We're gonna tilt over like an airplane. Right arm comes up and drops over our head as our gaze comes down to our left fingers. And then our right arm comes back up and down by our sides. We're gonna inhale up. Exhale, hands come together. We're gonna bring those feet together, knees together, getting real tall in our spine. We're gonna rotate our upper body over toward the door side and go ahead and forward fold in this position with our core engaged. If your elbows make that connection with your knee, always you have the option to hover here when we're on 2 feet, and you want to use that connection with your knee to press deeper into that twist on every exhale. 2 more breaths in this position. And go ahead and come back up. Remember, belly button to spine. Engaging that core should be the first thing to move whenever we're bringing our torso up. Return to the front, coming over to the left side. Long spine, legs are engaged. Forward fold, belly button to spine. If your elbow finds one of your knees, you can press that left hand into the right hand and hold here while you're breathing. 2 more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. And we're gonna return back to the chair, belly button to spine, as we come back up, still facing the park, and then we come back to center. Our hands are gonna come down by our sides, and we're gonna take a nice big breath up. Hands coming to heart center again. Shoulders pressed down, spine is long, belly button to spine. We're twisting again over to the door side for the second set. Lifting tall, we're forward folding over, finding that connection with your knee if you're able, and pressing deeper into that twist on every exhale. Staying here, or you have the option to separate those hands on this set, letting those left fingertips come down toward the ground and the right to the ceiling. Second option, rotate that right hand and drop it behind your lower back, allowing you to feel a stretch across the front of the right shoulder. Nice deep breath here. And on the exhale, you're gonna reverse out. So if you were behind your back, you're gonna bring that hand up, rotate, bringing those palms back together, belly button to spine. We're returning up to a seated position. Rotating back to the front and over to the park side. Inhale nice and tall. Engage that core, engage those leg muscles. Forward fold. If you make that connection, feel free to press deeper into that twist, and always the option to hover when we're on 2 feet. And option here, separate those hands for second set. Option to rotate that left hand and drop it behind your lower back. That way you can roll open that left shoulder, thinking about really opening up to the ceiling there. And we're reversing out on this exhale. Bringing that hand around, finding the palms, belly button to spine before you lift your torso, so that we're not using our lower back muscles. We're using those big, strong abdominal muscles. Coming back to center, hands down by your side, shake it out. Inhale up. Exhale, we're gonna drop that left hand behind our head. Using our right hand, we're gonna send that left hand toward the middle of your back, just where you feel a gentle stretch across your shoulders. Trying to leave that left hand where it is, we're gonna take our right hand around, facing the back, palm facing the back, all the way onto our middle back. So there's gonna be days when you can get it up higher. You might even be able to use a dish towel or something at home, or a belt, make that connection, and then that will really help with this stretch for the front of your right shoulder. We're gonna glance up at the ceiling and be mindful that this deepens that shoulder stretch. Taking a big inhale, we're gonna forward fold in a nice flat back. Exhale. Engaging that core, belly button to spine, lifting up again, and we're leading with our flat back, engaged core. We're coming back up. We're gonna take that left hand up to the ceiling and then around to stabilize the front of our right shoulder as we release and shake it out. Inhale up. Let's take that right hand behind our head. Our left hand is going to assist by gently bringing that right elbow down so that our right fingertips can get closer to the middle of our back. And leaving it there as much as we can, we're going to take our left hand, reverse it, and send it to our lower back or maybe our middle back. And maybe this side is more flexible and your fingertips get closer. Or again, feel free over the next couple days, grab a dish towel and do this one. We're gonna take an inhale and look up. And even just the looking up and letting that arch come into your rib cage can offer a different sort of stretch across the front of the left shoulder. So as we come forward, flat back, you're thinking about almost being arched here so that you're really getting the benefit of that stretch in the front of our left shoulder. And then on this next breath, make sure you engage your core first. You're coming on up. And we're gonna take our right hand and let that one release nice and slow, bringing it around. We're gonna grab a hold of that left shoulder and release it, shake it out. Inhale up. Exhale, center. We're gonna do one more of those. Inhale up. Exhale, bring both hands out in front of you. With a nice tall spine, we're opening a door, we're facing over to the door side. You can stay right here or use the back of your chair to get you deeper into your twist. Bringing your left hand to the outside of your right knee and breathing. And on this next exhale, we're gonna bring our arms back up to parallel and then close that right hand toward the left. Opening our left hand toward the back. Again, you can use the back of your chair, either side of it, and the right hand's gonna come to the outside of the left knee as we get nice and tall. And maybe you're glancing to the back or wherever it feels beneficial to you. On this next exhale, our hands return, our arms come back to parallel. We close that left hand up to our right hand and bring them up. Hands come to heart center. We're going to separate those feet about chair width apart. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold, one motion. We're coming forward. Go ahead and get all the way nice and slow and controlled. And again, of course, when you're on 2 feet, you can float this as well. Taking that left hand to the right foot, we're going to bring that right arm straight up above us. And we have the option here to rotate that right hand and drop it behind our lower back. Maybe you peel open that right shoulder and feel that stretch. And on this next exhale, we're going to reverse out. Take that right arm up, rotate, bringing it down. And then we're going to take our right hand to our left leg as we reach up with that left arm. Option to rotate that left hand, drop it behind your lower back. On this next exhale, reverse out of there and bring your hands back to the ground. We're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time, belly button to spine. Arms are heavy like we're carrying a bowling ball, and chin to chest. As we come back, we're going to walk our feet together, squeezing those knees together. Inhale up. We're going to reach out toward the top of the mirror. And in 5 breaths, we're going to get off the chair. Feel free to return to it whenever you need to. And here we go. We're just going to slide right off. And inhale. Exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. On this exhale, we're going to slowly straighten up and shake it out. Come into a standing position. We're going to take a big breath, bring our arms up. Fingertips are going to interlace, except for our pointers are going to point together. With our shoulders pressed down and away, we're just going to tip over, staying nice and in control, and our belly button to spine. On this exhale, we're coming back to center, core is tight, lifting tall, over the other side. On this exhale, we're coming up, and we're going to look up at the ceiling, letting our rib cage open. And as we forward fold, we're going to try to think about belly button to spine and leading with our face coming through our arms. As we slowly come down, remember you can add a micro bend into your knees so that it's not too hard on your hamstrings. And then right here, we're gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time, stacking them from the bottom, belly button to spine. As we come all the way up, we're gonna go into our warrior poses. I find these easier for me barefoot, but whatever works best for you. So, we're gonna start off with our feet apart, and our right toes are gonna go 45 degrees, and our left toes are gonna go all the way to the park side. We're gonna take a bend into our left knee, and you've got the chair here at any time for stability. We're going into warrior one. facing the park. We want our hips to be squared off to the park. Both hips, arms are up or they're holding the chair, whatever works best. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you go a little deeper, being mindful of the fact that we don't want our knee to go past our ankle. If we're going deeper, that's great, but separate your feet so that your knee doesn't go past your ankle. We're going to take that right hand to the back of our right leg and around our lower back. This is the moment when our hip wants to open to the mirror and we want to still keep it squared off to the park for warrior one, reversed. We're now going to slowly swim to the park with our right arm ending up and our left arm is going to find our hip or the chair, or it can find its way around your lower back. Reverse twisted warrior one. Keep those nice deep breaths going. Backstroke toward the mirror. So now we're facing the mirror, warrior two. Inhale. Maybe on the exhale, you go a little deeper. Remember, if that knee's going past that ankle, walk that other foot out. We're gonna reach out and over that foot. Our hand's gonna come, find our knee. Our right hand's going over. We're in a side angle pose. In the ideal world, our wrists, shoulder, hips, and ankles are in one straight line. You can also come off of your leg and be reaching down a little farther. Option here to reverse that right hand and bring it behind your lower back as we peel that shoulder open. Now we're going to take that hand up, reach onto that imaginary bunch of balloons, pull yourself back to warrior two, and then straighten that left knee. Taking that right hip, we're going to kick it out toward the door, and then reach out and over our left leg as far as we can, and then tilt into triangle pose. Option here, reversing that right arm, bringing it behind your lower back, and really thinking about peeling open that shoulder, getting that stretch across the back. Lifting that right hand up, we're going to pull ourselves back into a standing triangle. Right hand comes to the back of the right leg or around your lower back. And we're in reverse triangle. Keep breathing. Oxygen into those muscles that are working so hard. And then exhaling deeper into that stretch. Bringing those hands to the front. We're going to take all 10 toes to the front now. Reversing our hands. We're going to bring that to our lower back. Take a moment here. You can stay right here with flat hands or interlace those fingers. Roll those shoulders up and back. And one more time, rolling those shoulders up and back. We're going to forward fold. Get a nice good grip if you're going to have those hands leave your lower back. We're going to straighten our arms only if you want to, and send those hands overhead. Get as much or as little bend in your knees to protect your hamstrings, and it's just what feels good for you. 3 breaths here. As we come up, we want to grab a hold, belly button to spine, trying to come up with our head being the last thing to come up. If we come up too quickly, we're going to get a head rush, and we don't really want that. So your chin stays glued to your chest, your head is the last thing to come on up. Now we're going to release that interlace slowly, shake it out. We're going to do the other side. So we're going to take our left toes 45 degrees and our right toes all the way to the door side. And remembering that we want both hips to be squared off to the door, utilizing the chair as much or little as needed. Hands are up, warrior one, both hips facing off to the door. Maybe you go a little deeper, just not letting your knee go past your ankle. And we're gonna take that left hand to the back of our left leg, reaching up with our right hand. Maybe that left arm goes around the lower back and the elbow reminds our hip to stay toward the door. On this exhale, we're gonna swim toward that door. Our right hand's gonna find our hip, left hand up, right hand might go on the chair or behind your lower back, and reverse twisted warrior one. On this exhale, backstroke, and we come into warrior two, facing the mirror. Inhale, exhale, maybe you go a little deeper. We're gonna reach out and over that warrior two, that right leg, bringing our right arm to our knee. Left arm is coming up and over. Remember, our ideal pose is wrist, shoulder, hips, ankles, all in one line. You can also take that reach lower and reverse that left hand, bringing it around your lower back, peeling that shoulder open, really engaging your core, and have a nice flat side angle pose. Right arm's gonna reverse back out, grab onto those imaginary balloons, lift yourself up back into warrior two, and then straighten your right leg. We're gonna kick that left hip out, reach out as far as you can, and then tip for triangle pose. Left arm is reaching up, option to reverse that, and take it to your lower back. Peeling open that left shoulder for a nice flat triangle pose. We're gonna reverse that out. Left arm comes up, grabs a hold of the balloons again, and pulls us back into a triangle pose. Left arm to the back of the left leg or around your lower back. As you reach up, reverse triangle. On this exhale, bringing those hands out to the side. Toes are all coming forward. All 10 toes are forward. Reverse those hands. Take it to your lower back. Nice big roll. Get that posture really nice and tall. We're gonna interlace and take that interlace to one side. So we're gonna place our interlaced hands on our right hip to provide an extra stretch for our left shoulder. Right ear is gonna come to the right shoulder as our left shoulder pulls away, providing that extra stretch. And we're gonna go chin to chest. Slow circles here. Up to the left, left ear to left shoulder. Then we're looking up as our head drops to the back, and then very nicely comes back, right ear to right shoulder. One more time, same direction, chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder, looking up. Right ear to right shoulder, hold here. We're reversing it, looking up. Left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. And looking up, one more time around. Here we go, left ear to left shoulder, chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. We stop here. Bring our head back to neutral and switch our interlace over to the other side. Now we're starting dropped left ear to left shoulder, and you should feel that stretch right away across the front of your right shoulder and the right side of your neck. Let's go in circles, chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. Left ear is, actually we're looking up first. Then left ear to left shoulder. Same direction, chin to chest. Right ear to right shoulder. Looking up. Left ear to left shoulder. Reverse it, looking up. Right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder. One more time, this direction, looking up. Right ear to right shoulder, chin to chest. Left ear to left shoulder, hold here. And bring it back to neutral. Bring your hands back to the center. Undo that interlace and shake it out. We're gonna go into Warrior 3, which is on the side of our chair. So feel free if you want to get a sip of water or anything. I'm just putting my socks back on. And from the side of our chair, we're gonna go ahead and start with our left foot back and our left arm up. As our left hand drops, our left foot is coming up, kind of like one of those dipping bird toys. And then, so we come down, this is Warrior 3. You can always play with your balance or just hold on to the chair. I always suggest when we're holding the chair, hold the center so we don't accidentally push the chair away from us. So Warrior 3. We're gonna bring our hands now to the center, the base of the chair, and I like to tip my little right toes a little bit toward the mirror just for that stability of opening up into a half moon pose. You always have the option here to wave at those toes or grab a hold for an extra stretch. 2 more breaths here. And we're gonna gently reverse out of that, closing up like a book. Our hands are at the center, our elbows are gonna grab in. If you want it, you can just hold it here, one-legged plank, or we're gonna pitch forward and curl that left hamstring. Knee stays up, we just curl our left hamstring in, and you have the option to also do the tricep push-up here. Nice and slow and controlled. Taking that left foot back and the right foot back to meet it, we're going into our downward facing dog. In the ideal world, we're dropping our head through our arms, but whatever works for you in that direction, you're thinking about getting your chin to your chest. And then we're gonna take a breath in and look up past our hands and then back chin to chest. So it's like we're saying yes, nodding our head. And back up again. And this time, let your head be heavy and hang down, or wherever it is. We're gonna take a glance toward the back window, and then a glance toward the mirror, like a very slow shaking our head no, and toward the mirror. We're gonna take that left hand to the outside of our right knee, twisting ourselves toward the back. Nice deep breaths in and out. Inhale, oxygen to those muscles. Exhale, maybe go a little deeper your twist. Bringing that left hand back up to the chair, we're gonna take the right arm to the outside of the left leg, and same thing, thinking about deepening that twist on every exhale. Then we're gonna bring our right hand back up to the chair, and we're going into our plank pose. So we're gonna hold on to the center of the chair and send your feet back where they need to be. Your goal here is shoulders, hips, and ankles in a straight line. Belly button is pulled up to your spine, so you're really supporting your core. Hold here, or option, bend that right knee and just lift it up toward the chair. And then place it back down, and left knee bends and lift it up toward the chair, and then place it back down. We're gonna drop our hips toward the chair, bringing our gaze up to the ceiling for upward facing dog. Core is tight, let your belly button lift you back up into plank. There's always an option here for a mini push-up, and back to downward facing dog. Chin to chest. Coming forward again into plank. Nice deep breaths here. We're gonna pop our right knee, turn it out to the side, and bring it up to the side of the chair. And then back and down. Popping our left knee, and these are all options. You can just hold your plank, that's plenty. Bringing it back down. hips drop, upward facing dog, back to plank, optional mini push-up, and back to downward facing dog, chin to chest. Coming back into plank. Third set. We're gonna option here. Remember, you can just hold. Knee bends, turns out, comes up, kicks out. Bends and back. Other leg, left knee pops. In, straighten, in and back. Hips down, upward facing dog. Back to plank. Optional mini push-up. Back to downward facing dog, chin to chest. Nice deep breaths here. We're gonna walk our feet toward the chair while we're rounding our back like a suitcase handle. And now we're gonna roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head is the last thing up and turn toward the mirror. We're going into our tree pose. So our right knee can be up on our chair or balancing it off the chair, and we're in tree pose. 3 breaths here. You can play with your balance or not. Fallen tree, taking it over to the side. Get a nice side body stretch. Every breath, think about reaching that little bit further. And then bring it up. We're bringing that right knee forward and down as we turn toward the park side. Right foot is popped, or you can bring it up to the chair, or you can bring your knee up to the chair, or grab a hold of it. Whatever your dancer pose is for today, that's perfect. 3 breaths here. And as we reverse out, remember we don't want to slingshot our foot. Using those muscles, control the descent down. Walking to the back of our chairs. This is always our homework over the week. When you see a chair, get a good, nice, deep shoulder stretch here. And nice opening in the back. So we just do that one in between sides. Let's come back over to this side. We're on the left side. We're gonna have our right foot back. Our right arm is up. And we're tipping forward like a little tipping bird. We're in warrior 3 on this side. Feel free to play with your balance or not. On this exhale, find the base, the middle of the chair. Maybe your left toes tip a tiny bit forward to make this side half moon pose. You can always wave at your toes or grab a hold. 3 breaths here. We're gonna go ahead and let go there, close back up. Your hips are squared off to the floor again as we come into the optional hamstring curls and tricep push-ups. You can do one or the other or both, or simply hold in any of these positions. We're gonna go ahead and bring that right foot down, bring that left foot back toward the right, sending our chin to chest, and then looking up past our hands. Sending our chin to chest again. We're gonna look back toward the mirror, window, and then up front toward the mirror. And then we're gonna take our left hand to the outside of our right leg, looking under that arm or over, wherever our head happens to be. And then we're gonna take that left hand up, right hand to the outside of the left leg as we twist, looking under our left arm or over. Right hand comes up, and we're going to go ahead and come forward into our plank, having our hands nice and stable in the middle of our chair. Imagining our shoulders, hips, and ankles are in a straight line. Option here, bend that right knee and bring it up toward the chair. And then back down. Bend that left knee, bringing it up toward the chair, and then back down. Dropping our hips, upward facing dog. Looking toward the ceiling. Belly button to spine pulls you back into plank with an optional mini push-up here. And back to downward facing dog, chin to chest. We're coming forward into plank for our second set here. Pop that right knee, turn it out, lift it up toward that chair, and then returning it back. Left knee pops, turns out, lift toward your chair, and then back. Hips coming down and gaze going up, upward facing dog. Coming back into plank, optional mini push-up. Back to downward facing dog, chin to chest. Big inhale here. On the exhale, we're back into plank. Third and final set here. Knee pops, turn sideways, lift, straighten, lift, and down. You can always just hold here. These are just options. Knee opens, bring it in, straighten it, bring it in and back. Dropping our hips, upward facing dog. Back to plank. Optional mini push-up and back to downward facing dog. Take a big inhale here. On the exhale, we're walking ourselves forward toward our chair. One vertebrae at a time. We're coming on up. Again, head is the last thing to go because otherwise we might get a head rush. Turning toward the mirror, we're gonna pop that left knee, bring it up to the chair, or just balance it on your leg. Balancing with one hand or two, tree pose. On this breath, take that left hand down, fall in tree, 3 breaths. Coming back to standing, bringing that left toe forward, or left knee down. We're turning for dancer pose. Facing the door side, we're gonna bring our right foot onto the chair, or our left knee. Taking that right hand up, dancer pose, 3 breaths. And reversing out. And remember on this one, we want to make sure we're very slow on that release so we don't slingshot our leg. Taking that foot off, walking back to the front. We're sitting down. In 5 breaths, find your chair whenever you need to. Inhale up, belly button to spine. We're dropping into our chair without actually sitting. I like to make sure it's there so I know where I'm going. Inhale. Maybe on the exhale, you get a little closer to sitting with an engaged core without actually sitting. And now we're just gonna gently end up in our chair. Inhale up. Feet are gonna come about chair distance apart, and we're doing one of those nice, long, continuous forward folds, letting our spine decompress and our head be nice and heavy. And because I'm doing this on my phone, let me see how we're doing here. Okay, good. All right. That won't be weird looking at all. All right, let's go ahead and slowly roll on up. Head is heavy. We're gonna walk those feet back together. Inhale up. Exhale to a T. pressing our shoulders down. We're gonna bring that right hand over left and give ourselves a big giant hug. Pressing those shoulders down, thinking about that elbow being lifted up, and we're gonna drop our chin into that little space and roll on down. Thinking about being a roly-poly as you send your elbows toward your knees, and then coming back up. One vertebrae at a time, your head being the last thing to come up. You can stay right here in this hug pose for the next thing, or come into eagle arms, which is basically the backs of the hands and forearms coming together, which brings a little bit of added stretch into the shoulders. We're gonna go ahead and lift up, keeping our shoulders pressed down, and we're gonna reach out and over with a flat back. So ideally, we're tucked over, and since we're on 2 feet, you do have the option to hover off your chair. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And on this exhale, belly button to spine as we find our chair and lift our upper bodies up with a nice engaged core. We're gonna head over toward the park side first. Same thing, lifting up tall, forward, fold over. If your elbows make any kind of connection with your legs, you can use that to go deeper into that twist as we're facing the door side and we're breathing. And then as we find our way back up, if you are hovering, finding your chair, remembering that belly button to spine is key. When we use our torso, we want to be sure we're using those abdominal muscles. We're going to shift over and face the door side, lifting tall, forward fold, optional hover. On this exhale, we're returning to our chair, belly button to spine, lifting up, and bringing ourselves back forward. We're gonna bring those fingertips up toward the ceiling, and lifting, letting our ribcage open, letting a little arch come into our abdominals so that we feel a little stretch there. And this one is really critical that you grab that belly button to spine first. Otherwise, you'll use those lower back muscles, and we want to use our abdominals. We're gonna take our right leg and bring it over our left. And in the ideal world, you're gonna be able to really squeeze those together, even to where you could loop this foot around the bottom leg. So Lupe can do it, I cannot. Lift up nice and tall, reach over, eagle pose, eagle legs, eagle arms. I don't know why it's called eagle. Belly button to spine, we're lifting up. Taking it over toward the park side, lifting tall, forward fold, squeezing those ankles, knees, all the joints are nice and squeezed together. On this exhale, lifting back up, belly button to spine, rotate over toward the door, lifting tall, forward fold. And same thing, lifting up, belly button to spine, coming back to the middle. We're gonna come through our hug shape. Feel all that fresh blood flow coming to the arms. Picking up that right shin, we're gonna interlace our hands and squeeze it in tight. And then we're gonna send that shin down toward the ground and curl our back so that we feel that stretch, utilizing the weight of our own leg. Pulling back up, we have the option here to hold on from the back of our leg, and you can let go with one hand, let go with two hands, straighten that leg, whatever works for you. We're gonna rotate that wrist. If you want to, you can lean back or you can lift off so that you're engaging your core, and then rotate the other way. We're gonna make circles with our foot and really bringing it across midline, squeezing those inner thigh muscles together, and then reverse it. And now we're gonna drift down like a little leaf to the ground. Shake it out. Nice. Finding your nice comfortable seated position. Inhale up. Exhale to a T. Taking that left arm over right. Big giant hug here. Pressing those shoulders down, elbows up. Drop your chin into that little space and curl up chin to chest. Belly button to spine, stack those vertebrae back up. And we're gonna you have the option to stay here in this hug because this is a nice deep shoulder stretch, or bring the backs of those hands together, coming into eagle pose, lifting tall. We're going out and over, flat back, option to hover. We're gonna bring ourselves back up. Remember, pulling that belly button to spine, finding your chair. Taking it over to the door side first, nice and tall. Forward fold, option to hover. And as we come back up, belly button to spine, finding our chair if we're hovering. Using that core to lift us back up and rotate over toward the park side. Nice and tall, forward fold. And we're gonna come back up. Belly button to spine. Back to the front. We're taking our fingertips up to the ceiling, letting our lower back arch as we open our rib cage. Feeling that stretch across the front of our abdominals. And now, belly button to spine as we come back up. Taking that left knee over our right, squeezing those joints together. Inhale up and reaching out and over. That should deepen the stretch for your joints. Just connecting them and imagining they're all stacked up on each other. Wrists, elbows, knees, and ankles. On this exhale, coming on up, we're going back over toward the door side. Lift and forward fold. And as we grab a hold of that belly button again, we come back up, rotate over toward the park side, lifting tall, forward fold. If your elbows make that connection, just use that to deepen that twist and stretch. As we lift back up again, we come back to the front. We're gonna come through our hug shape, letting those arms, letting all that new, fresh blood flow coming back to the arms. We're gonna grab a hold of our shin with our interlace and then send that with our chin coming to our chest down to feel that stretch across the middle back and the lower back. And then pulling that knee back into our body. Option here to let go with one hand, straighten that leg, whatever works best for you. We're gonna rotate wrists and ankles, thinking about articulating every finger to really stretch those muscles. And then the other way. And now circles with that left foot. And remember to, as you cross midline, squeeze in. We're engaging those inner thigh muscles. And the other direction, making our little circles. And then drifting back down. Nice, shake it out. Inhale up. Hands coming to heart center. down by our sides. Feet are gonna be about chair width apart. We're coming into a forward fold, lifting up. This time we're gonna reach straight out, but one continuous motion, flat back. Hold on, I'm just checking the time. Don't do this. Okay. All right, here we go. We're rolling up one vertebrae at a time, about halfway. Hands are gonna come to your legs, and we're gonna drop right through the center. And of course, you have that option to hover here off of your chair. We're melting through, we call this cow pose. Inhale, rounding up our back, chin to chest, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose, straight down through the center. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose, chin comes up. Exhale. And we're gonna send that left shoulder down. We're gonna exhale on the downs. And inhale up. Exhale, right shoulder dips right down the middle like there's a bucket of paint that for some reason we're putting our shoulder in. And left shoulder coming down. And right shoulder right down the middle. One more set, left shoulder. And right shoulder. Excellent. Finding our chair, if you were hovering, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. We're bringing those feet together. We're gonna take our left foot up into our 4 shape for our dolphin pose. Inhale up. We're gonna reach out and over, straight forward. Staying at about the distance where we're gonna, if we were heading toward the top of the mirror, we're gonna start there. Inhale. Exhale, maybe you can reach a little farther on the exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. We're letting those arms be heavy and that head be heavy. And slowly rolling on up. Inhale up. Exhale to heart center. We're gonna do one side of this because we're running out of time. Lift over toward the park. We're gonna send that elbow down toward our leg. If it makes a connection with anything, you can press against it. And then option, straighten that right hand so it's parallel to our left shin, sending the left hand up around your lower back. That way you can use the weight of your upper body to get deeper into that stretch for your left hip and your right shoulder. And then bringing that left arm up, rotating it around, meets your right hand and lifts up. We're gonna come back to center and just rock that leg side to side. And you can just rock it and do your circles right here connected to your leg, or cradle that leg, even just in your hands or any way you want. We're gonna do some circles, and you can do that right there connected to your leg too. And then circle the other way. Just to get that mobility into our hips. And we're gonna take that knee, squeeze it in, set it down. Right leg comes up into our 4 shape, inhale up. Reaching out toward the top of the mirror, inhale. Exhale, maybe you reach a little farther. Inhale, exhale, maybe you reach a little farther. On this exhale, let those arms be heavy and that head be heavy as we roll up one vertebrae at a time. Inhaling up. Hands together, coming to heart center. We're rotating over toward the door side, lifting tall. If your elbow makes a connection with any part of that knee or leg, you can press deeper into that twist. Option, undo those hands. Left hand is parallel to the right shin, palm up. Right hand can reverse, come behind your lower back, and use the weight of your upper body to deepen that stretch for the left shoulder and the right hip. We're gonna reverse out that right hand, bringing the hands back together, belly button to spine. We lift back up and come forward. Feet come down, finding a comfortable spot, hands down by our sides. Shake it out. Inhale up. Lifting tall, grab a hold of everything, hold your breath, and then let it all go. Exhale. 2 more of those. Inhale, big breath. Hold. Exhale. Again. Hold. Exhale. Now nice and easy breathing through your nose. Returning to normal breathing, hands come together. Exhale, center. Closing your eyes. Congratulate ourselves on being here today. Thank you for sharing this time. Just a reminder, we do have class on Thursday, but then I will not be here next week, but I think somebody might play the video if you guys want to gather. That's why we're recording this. Have a wonderful today and tomorrow. Namaste. Namaste. Yay! Great job.